Against this right back, Charlie.
And the birthday boys made a run. Hey, fucking hell. Hey, happy birthday to me, man. Serious, sexy YouTuber, scores goals, makes great content. Hey, no one does it like me. I can only do it like me because of you lot, man. Let's have a great live stream. Energy. You ain't got no energy, back some energy.
I think it's like...
Are we live? Of course we're live. People, Deluded, I'm back again. First things first, thank you very much for tuning back in each and every time. Secondly, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and in some cases, good night. It's the halfway point of the week. Hope everyone's doing well and safe. If you're on YouTube, smash that like button. Check out the pin message because across Twitch and YouTube from 7:30, we'll be watching the Champions League. Shout out to everyone that was here on Twitch and YouTube yesterday for obviously what was an eventful Real Madrid and Chelsea game. You know, I think I got 30,000 odd views on YouTube, and I think a couple grand on Twitch. We did quite well in terms of watch time and all them things there. Shout out to Rants for the raid on Twitch. So it can't be done without you lot, and appreciative to you lot with the happy birthday messages. I can't lie, man. Normally, I'm not going to sit and say birthday's a shit time for me, but it is, innit? Like, obviously, I always think about my life and everything, and I've done all that today, but I feel happier, man. I feel blessed on the best of days now. I feel blessed because of you lot, man. I sit here at 27. I've got a lot going for me. I've got a lot of things I want to achieve, but I've got, 2 platforms where you lot, support man's thing, and we always talk about football day in, day out. It could be a lot worse. I've got my health. I'm only getting better, and I'm fucking sexy, like I'm fucking sexy, like me. Anthony Joshua, Damson Idris, like what is it? Probably the sexiest black content creators or public icons alive. You're going crazy, mate. But on that note, hit the like button, Twitch gang. You already know what to do. Just keep doing what you're doing in it. There isn't too much in terms of talking points where Arsenal's concerned. I know some comments relating to Granit Xhaka have emerged, and I'm actually waiting for the full ones to come up and down. But yeah, any comments, questions, all those things, get them in, people, and make sure you're hitting the like button, YouTube folks. And better than that, pardon me, appreciative to everybody that's tuned in. Hopefully everyone's doing well and safe. Hope you all got your health and your loved ones have your health. Apologies to me, man. Just realized that's some serious distance on that shot. Come on. Powerful insight, dodgy stream links, content creator. Happy birthday, DJ. Appreciate that, man. Come on. Appreciate that. Come on. But you can do what you want when you're popping, man. Thank you very much. Come on, my guy, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate you lot, man. You lot make a guy want to cry, man. Then again, my niece gave me she made it like my niece. When it comes to my nieces, I'm soft in it. But my niece made me a birthday card. I had a little tear, man. Like, oh my God, you gave me your £10 pocket money, like that's getting spent on weed, but still, like, I'm playing. But yeah, man, it was crazy, man. One love to you lot, man. One love to you lot, man. Anyone else reading this Gabriel rumors and think it's utter BS? We spoke about it yesterday. I think there's some truth. I think Gabriel Martinelli, one day the bigger clubs will be onto them. It doesn't make sense because we've just spent money kind of getting a first choice defense. I know our 2 first choice fullbacks are not fit, but if they're fit, Saliba to come back, we've got some half decent options, really and truly. It doesn't make sense. And we heard Gabriel's in line to sign a new deal after we deal with the 2024 contracts of Saliba, Saka, and Martinelli. So I'm not too sure I believe in it. And bro, we're zanging ourselves. That's kind of why I believe it, because Edu probably would do it. Man are saying Ricky Peag and Titi and these sort of guys. The best guy I saw linked with us in the swap deal was Depay. That's dead. And we just be cutting off our nose to spite our face already. Like, we might need a centre-back who's more experienced anyways, And for me in the summer, with Tierney's concerns over injuries and things, I think you need a proper left-back that can be a rotation option or potentially keep Tierney out the side. Obviously, Cedric's come of age, and if you asked me before Tierney got injured, I would have screamed back up right back. But if it came to it, I'd rather a first choice left back or someone that can compete and there's less of a drop off when Tavares and Tierney are in and out the side. So I would like that. I still would like a backup right back, would like an 8 or 2, would like a striker or 2. So I'm screaming all of this. We'd do at least half of that. And then we're talking about getting rid of a centre back. It don't make no sense, really and truly. And we're going to probably need a left-footed centre-back. And, you know, the last left-footed centre-back that you brought into the club, you know, Pablo Mari, it was Bandulu, innit? It was shit. So, yeah, man, let's just not make any more problems, man, really and truly. Thank you very much for the happy birthdays and that, man. Happy birthday, bro. Hope you have a good day. Are you Arteta out? I'm not Arteta in or out. If Arteta leaves, I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna defend Arteta to the hills. I'm not gonna condemn him until the cows come home. I see good and bad. I do feel Arteta has installed some good. There's a good foundation. That being said, I do think managers before him were crucified for less. I do think he gets a lot of luxury. I do think when he was doing bad, I can't remember the run of games, but that winless run last season or whenever it was or whatever, you know, other managers would have been sacked. I do think there's a serious PR and propaganda hype train behind him, but I do somewhat believe in Mikel Arteta. No man is without faults. I don't like those above him at this club. I very much doubt their ambition and whatnot. But there's a lot good. But if, you know, I haven't seen enough to defend him like Liverpool fans would defend Klopp or City for Pep and things like that. I do think, not you necessarily or anyone, but I just feel fans get too ingrained in this. I love Arteta, so he could shit and no, and it doesn't stink. Or I hate him, so I'm going to do every agenda, where it's in the middle. If you don't believe in him or do, and you can consider elsewhere, that's all I ask for, man. Appreciate that, my guy, man. Relationship between us and Xhaka, one word. You know, I can't say that. Temper, I can't say that, man. You need to dumb that down still. But big up you, man. Happy birthday to the biggest rattle merchant and best right back that's ever Chris. Appreciative to you, lot, man. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is, man. A pre-lunchtime rare nef. Hey, man, do one better, man. We're doing this, man. Don't forget, I can't lie. From this live stream to 7:30, man, them shout me. I'm active. Get me? YouTube blackout period. You're not gonna hear from me, but shout me. Everyone shout me. You know, all my friends shout me. And I can't lie, if you didn't say happy birthday, suck him up, man. And that goes to my friends, man, because not all the group chat said it though, and I don't care, but I'm a team player in it. Man, say it to everybody. You get me? Like now, love my guy. Hey, man, like David, you know. I can't lie. I've got gym now. I might bang you, you know. You know, it's not them days anymore. I might fist you up these days, you know. We might as well scrap. Big up my guy David, man. He's one of my best friends, but then obviously he's Nigerian, isn't it? So like he's always been tonk from day and. Like me and him he always used to play fighting. I can't lie, he used to tuck man in still, but it don't matter, man. Nah, man, come on, man. Only the women in my life can make me cry. It's my niece, man. Come on, man. It's nieces, bro. I'm a leg man, but I'll still sit down and do the tea games with them, man. Man was having 2 days ago. I was having a tea party with my nieces, mate. Really. Shouting at my niece because she ain't got no honey with no imaginary honey. Come on, man. Appreciate you lot, man. Xhaka should just shut up and direct all his energy on playing the game. Great performances win over the fans rather than PR talk. Dawson's not here for none of it. To be fair, I believe he's doing the player tribute thing. So literally, they've asked him to chat in it. Thoughts on Ten Hag to United? I'm not gonna cap. I'm scared because I feel if United fix up off the field. And I always give the example. If he's asking you, if he says he wants to make apple juice and he's telling you to go to the shop and buy him apples and you're bringing him oranges, that's the problem. If United fix up off the field, that's probably more important because they've had Van Gaal, Jose, serious managers, and they've been a mess off it. If they fix up off the field to go with Ten Hag and do this thing properly, I don't think they're immediately going to bounce back, but they're coming in it. Like I think Ten Hag's 30. I think what he likes to do is 30. I think the player recruitment with him and Ralph Rangnick can be 30. If they get guys like Timber and Nkunku, I'm sure. Obviously, Arsenal fans, we know about Nkunku's thing. You know, Emery tried to save us and tried to get him for us. He didn't bang. I'm shook. I hope it's a thing where United keep doing the commercial thing. I hope Ten Hag is crippled and whatnot in his job with all the prima donnas and all the nonsense that goes on the field. But I'm shook still. Appreciate the Sydney ones locked in or people from down under. I can't lie, bro. The day's basically finished. We're all happy for Emery. Of course. Blackout period, bro. Blackout period. Come on. Anything is possible. Appreciate you. I don't know what wave this. Happy birthday, my guy. More life and more Arsenal failing to make top four. What's all less of that? We got the Twitch gang. Less of that. With Ten Hag coming in, is Arteta even a top 10 manager in the league? You might not be in deep, man. Come on, man. Arteta's a top 10 manager in the league, bro. He might be 10th in that, but realistically, bro, out of all these teams, 20 teams, he's definitely in the top 10, man. Appreciate that, criminal. But who would you say is the top managers in the league? Well, Klopp, Pep. You know, in no order, Klopp, Pep. Obviously, Spurs or not, Conte's earned that right to be thrown in there. Top 4 is not a title, you're right, but we'll take that right now anyways, you know. Klopp, Pep, Conte, Tuchel, without a doubt. Thomas Tuchel, 30, without a doubt. It's probably debate, unless I'm missing someone else out, and forgive me if I'm wrong, but it's all debate. Past that point, it's debatable. But then, yeah, I said Tuchel, Pep, Klopp, Conte, and Thomas Tuchel. That's what, yeah, man. It's probably debatable past that. Obviously, I think Graham Potter's 30. I know he's not doing the business at the moment, but Brendan Rodgers for a while has been doing the business. You know, Vieira's come on the scene and doing well. I can't. You know, for me, Arteta, Vieira, you man ain't done it long enough. Like Vieira, it's not even been a full season. As much as I want to sit here and gas up Vieira, obviously ex-Arsenal man, doing his thing and whatnot. You ain't been here a year. I don't know what next year's saying. You know, I hope it's not the case. But how many times have you seen there be a blip? You know, I do think it's probably debatable. You're right. You've got the Eddie Howes. David Moyes deserves his credit. You know, David Moyes, Eddie Howe, Brendan Rodgers, Graham Potter, all of these, you know, it all becomes there. Moyes is better than Arteta. He's done it in the game, innit? That's Arteta's father, really. So I don't know, man. I'm not here for that. As long as Arteta does the job for Arsenal, I don't care where he ranks in the top managers. Just do the job. Just do what you need to do, man. West Ham might go to the semis in Europa. We'll deal with that on Thursday. Today at 7:30 on YouTube and Twitch. I don't need to tell Twitch in it. I believe it. I'll be real. Twitch gang, you know what to do. It's you YouTube ones that don't do your job. So please hit the like button. Every like drives engagement. You know, do you know how much of a good stream we had across both platforms because of you lot? It's as simple as that. You know. Big up Roy Hodgson, but that's a myth, man. You know, the way I look at David Moyes is the way I look at Emery. Like when they both took their jobs, I think there's a lot of parallels. I think Moyes could, in hindsight, Moyes could have done a lot better for Manchester United if things were done properly, you know. But again, rose tints, he probably still weren't the guy. Benitez, myth. Historically, Benitez. Potter would do a job with a better squad. I believe so. But then comes more scrutiny because even though as much as I rate Potter, prior to bucking Arsenal, they was on a losing run. As you know, you join another club, there's serious question marks. I don't know why, but I just have in my head Graham Potter ends up at Spurs. I don't know how long Conte is going to be there, but I just think he ends up being a spud. It's nearing 9 p.m. in Sydney, currently in isolation as my sister got COVID. Not going to lie, been a crazy week. Computer did start, though, so I lost all my uni work, like 70 hours of notes, sister COVID, exams, group tasks. That's fucked, man. All I would say is first things first, hope you and your sister are doing all right. The uni thing's jarring. Man said 70 hours. All I could say, bro, I hope you're able to do a get back. And I know how that shit feels, bro. Like, I don't know how it feels to lose the uni work in 70 hours, but I've sat here and edited things and cut up clips, and then computers have done fuckeries and I've had to start again and all those things. So I know how patterned. We're going to get into that, my guy. Let's all chip in for a Gallas to do a cameo wishing DG happy birthday. Nah. I don't need to see him and his shit perms, bro. Come on, big up the Aries gang. Come on. To be fair, a lot of these managers would struggle at Arsenal. A lot of them would struggle bare places because as long as it doesn't, you know, I've never, whether I rate Arteta or not, whether I rate Emery or not, I think they've, you know, I've never had to doubt that they might have gone about it in a way I disagree, but I've never had to doubt that both of them want to get Arsenal to where they used to be and beyond. It's above, you know. In January, as I said, for all Arteta and Edu are making mistakes, Edu failing to do things in the transfer market, Arteta being naive, maybe should have blessed relations because we knew if people got injured, there's question marks to happen. A serious owner might say, listen, you and Aubameyang need to cut that bullshit. In the summer, you lot deal with that, but we're trying to get top 4. I need money, so you man need to get top 4. Or what I'm going to do, you're pissing me off because you've made me give Aubameyang a new deal. Now we've torn it up. What we're going to do, we're going to bring a striker in or at least a midfielder. That's going to give you the boost to overachieve per se and get Champions League. We didn't do that. So it's a bit brazy. I look at, you know, even if my biggest fear is that we do the Spurs thing. And that's when, do you remember when Pochettino had Spurs moving mad? Like they had I think it was more of a case when they had the two Belgium centre-backs, you know, they had the two English boys fullback and a prime Hugo Lloris. They were moving mad. I think they were unbeaten at White Hart Lane. Long story short, they got to a point where the fans, the players, the coach, you could see if you gave Harry Kane and Son, and even them times there, Dele Alli was doing all right. If you just brought in a couple more players that could take them to the next level and complement the overall quality, they could go there. But Levy weren't on that. That's where I think we might go, because I don't know if Kroenke's on this winning thing. Because even when it was Wenger, we're achieving because of Wenger. Kroenke didn't give a fuck. Like we're doing it because of Arsene Wenger. So I don't know. I don't know for Edu's ability to make things happen in the transfer market, because what is Edu's legacy? You know, you was involved in last summer, but we brought in a new contract, man. Is it any coincidence we've been able to deal with English clubs a bit better? Edu was saying we should get Neto. Arteta was saying Ramsdale. Certain man was saying Emerson Royal. Other man was saying Tomiyasu. You know, all you've done is rip up contracts. And I might be being a bit harsh, but January, that's your season, January. You need to make something happen. Next summer, I'm learning a lot about Edu. I need to know first things first. Saliba, Saka, Martinelli, new deals. Again, the obvious is incomers. We need a midfielder. We need a striker. We need a left back. We need it, whatever you man have to say. Outgoings. Torreira's got one foot out the door. He's actually playing well in Italy. That shouldn't be hard to get a sale. I don't know what Betis are saying for Hector Bellerin, but I know with him being contracted until 2023, him, Maitland-Niles, Leno, there's bare players in it. Deal with that, because if you can get certain fees, make that can obviously be put towards Arteta. So I need to learn a lot from you. I am, you know, and I would say midfield minimum. So I don't. So a lot of managers would struggle at Arsenal 100%, because why do you think? Come on, man. We was linked with Carlo, Luis Enrique, all them sick managers, and when you're looking at the reports, it was the same old theme. Oh yeah, Arsenal. Yeah, okay. Let me talk. All right, yeah, I would sign for Arsenal, London, Arsene Wenger, French ties, this and that. How much money you got to spend though? Swear down. Fuck that. Now it made sense for Emery to take the job. Let's be honest. PSG, he got rubbed out. There was a lot of scrutiny. He could come here and there was things to hide behind. Mikel Arteta, massively underqualified for the job initially. There's a lot of things he gets to hide behind, even to this day. The job was of mutual interest. The board are going to have someone that, listen, I do think Arteta is saying I need this, that, and the other, but he's probably not going to bang the drum as much as Luis Enrique, Carlo Ancelotti, or half of these guys that were linked with us at the time. So yeah, man. I wouldn't say Arsenal's necessarily set up to succeed for a gaffer. But at the same time, with Emery and Arteta, no one forced you to come here. You didn't come to this club under duress. In Arteta's case, you rejected this job a year or so before it came, because when we was linked with Emery, you was a guy being linked with, we spoke to you. So I don't know what was said a year on that made you take the job or what changed, but everybody know, as much as I criticized the board and all these things, you knew what role it was. And at the same time, I'm by no stretch of the imagination defending the owners. We can't act like money hasn't been spent. Like money has been spent, and there's a lot of inherited problems that people have come into this club and inherited, but they've also made problems of their own. Let's be real. Really. Yeah, man, I don't think we're getting Morata. I don't believe the Hazard thing. Listen, I'm taking Hazard, but it's not 30 though. Like, he's not helping us really. Man said, Ospina, come on, you're not trying to make me cry on my birthday, bro. Who? Bit harsh to call out to a clown. Yo, DG, my guy, been gone for a minute. I know things are so peak right now for our club. What we gonna do, bro? We need these people out, or nothing's gonna get better, just worse. Kroenke and the whole thing. I wish there was something I could say, man. You know, I wish there was something I could say, man. But you're right, still, it's pretty damning. Have you spoken about Balogun talking about Emery / Arsenal? Are these new comments? Update me. Put me in the right. Ian Balogun. Put me in the right place to notify me on these things. Oh, he's just back. He's just back in his back. I spoke about this on Twitch. Like, unpopular opinion. Arteta's looking shaky. Emery weren't the guy. You know, yeah, he's the cup man. You know, he got us to a final. I think the players fucked up the cup final. He fucked up in the league. And yes, the lazy one is we finished 5th, a point or 4th. But was it a point, or was there dire football, predictable football, bewildering tactics, kind of stuff we're criticizing Arteta for? He lost the dressing room. You know, he did Oxford. He weren't fans said we're not going to games anymore, and that accelerated stuff. A bit like Arteta, he was breaking in a negative way, groundbreaking stats. The one thing I would say to Emery is he wasn't afforded the same luxuries that have been given to Arteta. But unpopular opinion, Emery weren't the guy. He showed that. Arteta might or might not be the guy. Like, obviously, if you break up with a woman or a man, for some of you, if you break up with your ex and then you get a new partner who's even worse than your ex or moving shaky, of course they're going to look wavy, you know? Of course, I don't agree with that. Emery did inherit some issues, but he weren't the guy, you know, a bit like his failings at PSG. He lost the dressing room. He's better with the underdogs and things. And arguably, I would prefer to see him now that the squad's kind of been flushed out of them prestigious big personalities, and we've got players that are trying to earn the right to be household names in football. He's better with them. And last season, they finished 7th. They're 7th right now. If he's at Arsenal, fans would have sat there and said, oh, boy, you know, he's got to win Europa League or he's got to win Champions League or he's gone. Come on, man. Come on, big up to Emery because he done a madness against Bayern Munich, just like against Juventus. He's got, you know, Coquelin's there going strong. I'd take Coquelin in our midfield right now. You know, he's got a bag of like Rebor footballers. He's got dons from the Championship, Arsenal and Spurs rejects. He's doing his thing, but man are rewriting history. Emery weren't the guy. Like, he was doing mad stuff. He was doing crazy back threes, you know, predictable football, crazy. Both men are playing Ozu and Mkhitaryan on the wings. He was doing rubbed things, you know. Do I feel the one thing I would say with Emery, I feel he wasn't afforded these same luxuries that are given to Arteta, and I do think he was crucified for less. And I do think one thing that helps Arteta that hurts him is this propaganda of what the gaffer could be. But that's dead, man. Obviously, Guillaume Balaguer is gonna back his Don. He's twerking for an interview, innit? Of course, big up to Emery, but he weren't the guy. You know, but you are right. You do have to trust a process, kind of relax yourself and things. But for me, I trust somewhat Arteta. That doesn't mean I'm blindly trusting you and condoning things. If you do well, I'm going to praise. If you do booky stuff, I'm going to have an opinion. I'm not just going to condone everything because if you was Pep or Klopp, or I can't lie, me under Wenger to a slight degree, bro. Wenger could tell me the sky's purple. I'll somewhat believe it. I cannot cap to you lot. You know, they haven't earned that right yet. So I don't know for none of that. You know, shout out to Guillaume Balaguer. If you want to come on DG Nation, yeah, man. But it is what it is, man. Not gonna lie, Edu is meaty. We was linked to Bremer all January to sign no one, not even a loan deal. I'm sure Real Madrid would have gave Luka Jovic or something. You're right. And the thing is, yeah, I'm not against people leaving, but other clubs, regardless of if the players wanted to leave or not, they held on to them. And look, these guys are meaty, but, you know, with the right back issues, you know, maybe if Callum Chambers is in the squad, Cedric can move over to left back. If you've got Ainsley Maitland-Niles, then probably we never talk about Xhaka playing centre back. Or if he does, Arteta, you're bugging out, you know. Aubameyang, of course, you know, I'm not going to remix it. Arsenal fans a couple of weeks ago were screaming, oh, man, everybody won, man. We're scoring goals. Aubameyang is thriving. Arteta this, Barca that. You know, now it's a case of, boy, why'd you let him go? I would have, you know, I didn't really want Aubameyang to go. And for me, I've always said since I've started YouTube, I don't really care about people going or staying because it is what it is. It's the knock-on effect. If you move Xhaka out of midfield into left back, make sure the midfield is 30. If you're getting rid of Aubameyang, make sure you know how you're scoring goals. And you tell me goals wasn't important because Lacazette is the guy really at this moment in time. We knew Lacazette might get injured, might lose form, etc. We knew he was naively betting on a lot. The squad to stay fit. These young players still outperforming their expected goals. You know, the balance to be described. The same way that when we look at Aubameyang and Lacazette, like I don't know about anyone else because some Arsenal fans said Lacazette's the better player than Aubameyang because he takes less shots and scores. You know, I think the better striker is the one that scores more goals personally because that's a striker's job. But, you know, Aubameyang not scoring goals, he's irrelevant. He unbalances the side. Lacazette, if he's not necessarily scoring, one thing he will give you is the pressing, the work rate, the assist, the link-up play, all the things we overcompensate with because he doesn't score goals. If he's not doing that, he's crippling the side. For me, there's no plan B. Balogun needed to go out on loan, and I'm not screaming Balogun, but you've not got the Balogun team. You know, Nketiah, you've said you want him to stay and whatnot. You don't really play him like that. So I know in your heart, Mikel, you don't really rate Donny like that. So it is what it is. There's no plan. Martinelli up front, I don't know. We've seen these booky false nines. They don't bang. You know, for me, Arteta off topic, doing things at the wrong time. Like, now's not the time. But the thing I don't understand it. The one thing I don't understand with Arteta, like, sorry, let me make some timestamps. Like, how do I make it make sense? Like in October and all them times there, You were sticking to the script. You was playing people in their positions. You were playing the same team, and then we went on a run and got ourselves into this top 4 shout. Now with 7 games to go, our young players have finally started to look young. They've done well to get us to this period where now it's just about in these 7, 8, 9 games, these experienced players just at least 5s out of 10s just getting us over the line. I don't understand why they've bottled, but I don't understand why now. And I'm not against it in the future, like for Smith Rowe, Lokonga, and Odegaard in the middle, especially when they all learn their own games and how it ties into the collective. But surely now is not the time for that. And I think you lot have seen how I feel because you know me. I'm all for Lokonga, Tavares, all these young players playing, but in small little ways, you've seen me say no. Saka left back, and then they come into the team, this and that, because these guys still might be shit. But there might be 5s out of 10s. Guys like Tavares at this moment, at this stage in their development, they're going to give you 2 out of 10s, 10s out of 10s, 3 out of 10s, and we've got 7 games left. And as you lot know, respectfully to Crystal Palace, who dealt with us, and Brighton, who dealt with us. But if you're not going to pick up 6 points there, even though there are bogey teams, and we should be winning against Southampton, even though that's a difficult game. But you got Chelsea, who are going to be vexed after going out the Champions League. You've got United, who their players might raise their game because Ten Hag's coming in. Other players might leave, or certain players might be given a new lease of life. You've got West Ham. But listen, if we play Spurs tomorrow, we probably got to get that game cancelled again. We got to try do the double over Spurs and beat them at their place. When was the last time we did either? We've got a mountain to climb, and also none of this necessarily scares me. It's because I'm someone who cares internally. Respectfully, I don't think we have it. I look at our squad, the young G's, they look like they need their hands held at this moment, which they should. There's no one to do that. We ain't really got the talisman like that to do much. Like we haven't. You look at Kane, Son. The January signings, they've got a boost. I'm relying on Lacazette. I'm sorry, but these things are not good enough. Like, respectfully, like, I'm not here to criticize the players. I'm here to just be as honest as I can. I can't say I believe in that. Because, again, I'm sorry. A lot of you were saying Lacazette needs a new deal. A lot of you tried to fight me. I told you Lacazette's not 30. He's a good squad player and he's a great player and I'm a big fan of his, but he's not 30. You can't rely on him. Some of you lot wanted to fight me. We can go and reel up the videos, It's brazy, man. It's very, very brazy. UNAI EMERY thoughts. Just call it that. But yeah, man. Your thoughts on Nelson? Badly want him to have a future here. Happy that he's finding his form, but it's probably best he goes somewhere where you can settle down roots for a couple of years rather than you're at Arsenal. 1 minute you're playing, then you're not, or you're going on loan and doing these things, man. Learning on the job is brazy, bro. Kalas. Problems at Arsenal are structural. Brazy. Come on, my guy. Appreciate that. Appreciate the happy. Thank you for the happy birthday messages, people. I think I personally feel if you're gonna have an inexperienced manager, you've got to have experienced directors of football. I don't know. I'm not trying to. Edu's not alone, and I do like when I hear Edu's been speaking to Arthur Melo, to Telemans, to Jonathan David's agents, whether he gets it done or not. But Edu, what have you done? You ain't. I give you credit for the part you've played in the summer, but that looks like it was led by Arteta and other people. All you've done is rip up contracts. Like, who have you brought in? You brought in Partey, but Partey had a release clause, and them times there allegedly Arteta wanted our one, that one there couldn't be dead. So I don't know for your negotiating skills. In January, you weren't able to pull nothing out the hat. All you've done really, like Arteta, is just tear up deals. Willian Aubameyang tear up deals, and somehow fans have praised you for that. Fans have praised Mikel Arteta for tearing up a deal that you gave, where the truth's in the middle. Emery didn't get back to what's a bit harsh, he did kind of, but Arteta got everything. I do think Arteta gets treated like a spoiled kid, if I'm honest. Unpopular opinion, I still think Ainsley can be a decent squad option and good for rotation for when we're playing more games. And considering he plays multiple positions, I don't think we should sell him. I would only sell him because he's probably very unlikely to sign a new deal and it's just the beginning of the end. I don't think that's an unpopular opinion because I don't think anybody disagrees that Ainsley Maitland-Niles is a half-decent squad player, especially when there's injuries. Arteta probably, like other teams, if you can't bring people in, you shouldn't allow people to leave. But he wanted to leave and he's sitting on the bench at Roma, which tells you everything. But you're right. The problem is he didn't want to do up bench. I do think he's a squad option. I don't think for me you play enough games in midfield because the way I want midfield to go, unless we're in the Europa League, which is probably likely, you're probably not getting game time next season. If you stayed, you can do the backup right back thing. But if Tomiyasu's fit, that's a myth for you. I'd rather you play than Cedric, if I'm honest. You would have been used at left back now. I think, this is where you should have probably held on to a Callum Chambers, a Ainsley Maitland-Niles, and a Bamian or something like that. The long term of it will be good, but in the grand scheme of needing 3 points this season, then it's probably a Mazzolini, Houdini in 89. It breaks my heart, young G. As you get older, you think about things more in depth. Man has to control that because it gets you down. Come on. As I always say, the beautiful thing and the harshest thing about life is it keeps going, bro. Like, just got to keep going, bro. But yeah, man. I don't think that's an unpopular opinion about Ainsley at all. I think everybody feels that, really. Listening to you while at school. Listen in school, get your grades, man. I know everybody says it, but get your grades, man. But, if you're not, mad thing. Bremer, I swear Bremer has been linked to Liverpool. He has, and he's been linked to Arsenal. From what I've seen of the Torino lad, obviously we've bought a player, like we've been looking at Torino-based players, and we've bought players from the Italian league, so I get that. He's strong, physically, 25, good age. If Gabriel leaves, then I get it, But the money they're looking at, I wouldn't say centre-back's not necessarily a priority because you could always improve. Even with Ben White and Gabriel, they still got mistakes in them. But I'd rather us put, if we're going to have to overpay or bring someone in, can we do that in the number 8 position? Can we do that up front? Arguably, I'd rather a top left-back arrive now. Everyone choosing to ignore how bad things got under Emery basketball football with bang average teams ripping us apart weekly. Darren, tell him he didn't get sacked for finishing 5th. He got sacked for capitulating. That's true. But do you know how it is? It's rose tints, bro. It's rose tints. There was a time man was saying, should we even got rid of Wenger? And as a Wenger baby, it's crazy. DG, did you see Petit saying Arteta wants 7 new signings in the summer? I mean, he should do because you probably need about that. He said he wants a bigger squad, and he talks about it in indirect ways. But what would the 7 be? I don't think they're going to do what I would want. That would be, I would say, 4 signings off the back. That's 2 strikers. One that starts immediately, improves this team. One that's a rotation. The same logic for number 8. Left back for me that can fight with Tierney and be a certified option. Probably right back. And there were rumours Arteta wants a centre-half of some stature. So maybe that's the 7. Or maybe one was a backup goalie, in which we've done already. We are done, Arteta out. Keep the fight, man. It's not done until it's over, man. The fat lady's beginning to sing, though. Edu isn't carrying no weight in the transfer world. He would starve to death if he was a roadman. We said he couldn't even go OT in that. Do you know what it is with Edu? Like, you're just not a hustler, like. I'm seeing that guy down the road. As soon as he's coming, they've bought players that, if you watch Italian league, you know what they're on. They bought Romero. They got Kulusevski. They got Bentancur. They tried to get Tomiyasu. There might be a couple of others. They got close to getting Dybala and Lautaro Martinez. Edu, what have you done? I know the South American market, work permits, them things there is difficult. It's not the same as buying in Italy, but I ain't seen you grab no real South American stuff. I ain't seen you do things like that. It's just you've been getting into bed with the agent who represents you. And tearing up deals. And I don't want to make it all about Edu, but to me, as an ignorant fan who can only look at what's in front of me, then I don't really see it. If for as much as I criticize or praise Arteta, if he leaves, at least I can say, well, you know what? You started the beef with Aubameyang and Ozil. You made some big decisions. You've given us a base. You've Emery blooded the young G's, but you've given them an even bigger platform to do their thing. You've won an FA Cup. What's Edu done? I give Edu the luxury. He was part of, you played your part in the negotiations for the business we did last summer, but I don't know what going for your thing. If you left tomorrow, what's your legacy? Like, forget as a player, because you weren't that dirty, but, invincible in that. What's your legacy as a director of football here? You either have an inexperienced technical director and an experienced manager, or an experienced technical director and a novice manager. Very rarely do you have both. And then we've got both, but it's not like we've got an owner that's going to press the issue on certain things. So it's like we've just got everybody left to their own devices. And unless you really, pardon my language, fuck up at Arsenal, then you're not going to get clipped. Even when Emery was getting clipped, some sections of the club wanted to give him a new deal. It's only when fans started saying we're not going to games no more, and they actually was doing that. The Cronkies were like, yo, Emery, we got to nip this one there in the bud, really. Really and truly. The N16, big up the Stamford. Well, the Stamford Hill, technically, it could technically be Stokey. Both Arsenal and Tottenham have a chance to go top 4. Is because United screwed up big time. If we get top 4, which is now less likely, would be an overachievement. Oh, yeah, but I like to be wary of that word. I can't lie, but it's a big if. I saw a post earlier and it questioned if Chelsea's season under Tuchel was a failure. I mean, for Chelsea standards, they might say it's a failure, but I would take that. I would take quarterfinals or whatever, the Champions League, final, the League Cup. You know, you win. I hope Vieira does it, but could get to the final of the FA Cup. Obviously, the league is disappointing. People are saying Chelsea could win the league. Now, that was always a myth. They haven't got what Liverpool and City have, you know, specifically a striker that's going to back them goals. Defender FC could only get so far. Appreciative to the happy birthday messages. They did add depth. Bro, he can big him up as much as he likes. You know, it's just, but you don't even believe. To me, as an ignorant fan, I know in Arteta's heart, he don't even believe what he's saying about Eddie, because you just look at the minutes. You're not playing, you know, even with Lacazette falling off a cliff now by his own standards, you know, and I think there's not that I believe in it, because a part of me would, if it's not Martinelli up front, I'm probably, or trying to entertain Pepe false 9, I'm probably still playing Lacazette up front, because I think that's better than Eddie. But at the same time, with the current form, which I don't know why, you know, with the current form, Eddie's barely been able to get a game time. Bro, you know, you're playing ahead of a striker that's only playing because he works hard. Respectfully, that's what we say about Lacazette. He works hard, he presses. It's not goals. So if you can't, and how many minutes have you played? How many starts have you got? It's meaty. You know, you've played 13 times this season in the Prem, scored no goals. But then the devil's in the details. When I start looking at it, you've played 166 minutes of Premier League football despite 13 appearances. You defo ain't played 90 minutes at any point in the league for us. You know, big up you in the cup and that. But that, and I'm not against it, but that tells me Arteta don't. You're not wrong, but Arteta don't even believe what he's saying about Eddie and Nketiah. 100%. What's the longest you've actually played in the league, people? Let me zoom out of this because I can't see shit. This season. So, oh shit, the screen ain't even shared. Sorry, people. Nah, it's not even me getting at Eddie. This ain't an Eddie hate campaign or anything. This is just me. Arteta don't believe in you. Like, he's saying one thing, and I don't disagree. I like that. A manager should tell you everything under the sun. I would like Eddie to sign a new deal, go out on loan, see if he can make peace. Just like when he was telling Balogun all them lies. Yeah, fam. Smith Rowe, Saka, you're next up. Give him a first team number. But once it came to it, bro, you need to go on loan. You know, Eddie can't be relied on. 51 goals, 5 goals, 51 appearances, 5 goals in the league. It's not him. This is the problem with Arsenal. You know, him and Laka, they're squad players. They've never done it. We're putting people in a position that they can't fill. We always love taking squad players, making them first team regulars and being surprised. Arteta don't believe what he's saying, man. Come on now. Like, now I know Eddie was injured at a point, but my man was anonymous in the first half of the season. Bro, you get it? Like, it's meaty. Like, what's the most? Look at these appearances. Bro, the most he's played in the league is 28 minutes against Brighton. Literally. We're looking at it. He don't even believe what he's saying with Eddie. It's about where we finish and therefore how strong our window can be. Jan was poor, which can make our summer poor. Others are going to strengthen. Never seen a January window like this before. Almost feels like they purposely sabotaged the team so we could have excuses for not making fourth. I just feel we buckled the chance. Like, I just feel we're happy to finish in among the top 6, assuming that happens. I would have, you know, I think January is a missed period, but as well as January and not strengthening, we've just shanked it up. You know, not, you know, for me, Burnley, the 2 games against Palace, the 2 games against Brighton, Everton away, United away, you know, off the top of my head, with new players, striker or not, we shanked these games. Like, we let ourselves down. Really and truly, 100%. Appreciate that, my guy. Hey, M's the guy who made the intro, by the way. Yeah, we'll get into it. We'll get into Sokratis' thing, man. I'm just loving what you lot are saying, man. Come on, one love to you lot, man. I mean, Emery needed to go. You keep trying again, bro. How many times have other teams got it wrong? They'll sack one manager and then sack it again. I think we're all interested. Apparently, Conte's Conte's tested positive for corona. Obviously, we hope his health is all right. Ain't Maitland, like all the others, can't come back because of the manager don't know how to manage them. To be fair, Ainsley was doing the bad beating, going and whining on Instagram and that. Like, crazy. Ainsley's needed to grow up and just bust out for time ago, man. Bust out time ago. If I'm completely honest, man. The thing is, it's the drop off, man. What I wondered for a while is what Arteta would do with options, with depth. We think depth is necessary, but his penchant for favourites might make depth a moot point. Unpopular opinion, every manager's got favourites, though. It's just the drop off. For me, I'm a bit conflicted when I look at Lokonga and Tavares. Like, on one hand, this is the time where, this is all excluding Xhaka playing left back because it throws it out. But I could understand not throwing these young players in because you can't at this moment trust them. But then the devil's advocate of that is, why buy man then? Young or not, why buy them? Because we can't scream they're young, which it is that they're young and they're inexperienced and they're learning. But we've got a young squad. Arteta always comes out and says we've got the youngest squad in the Prem, this, that, and the other. So age is somewhat irrelevant. It's for me, it's that depth is one thing, but it's the drop off in quality. We know people are going to get injured, and arguably, when you've got less options to use, no matter how good a player is, they're going to have wear and tear. Tomiyasu, wear and tear. Tierney, on top of being a flight risk, wear and tear. Partey, wear and tear. In fact, you know what? Maybe as much as it's the international break, maybe our handling of the international break kind of fucked it up as well, because Saka's went and got COVID, and physically that probably took a lot out of him. Odegaard, I don't know what happens to Odegaard every international break. Smith Rowe's still not really that fit, and he looks like he's still carrying little knocks. Partey's been flying around on the best of days, and it is what it is. Tierney's been playing on an injury. I never say you should stop someone from going off to their country, but play for their country. But do you get it? Like, maybe that's what's happened, really. And on top of, I feel people just getting complacent in that. I wouldn't say it's an overachievement, but I understand why people say overachievement. Kevin Campbell said the club need to bring in 8 to fill out the starting 11 and the matchday bench in order to compete for the top. This was before even the recent downturn in form. It's true. We was betting on a lot. We was betting on the young players keep scoring, so that Laka's lack of scoring wasn't a problem, because I know Laka's form has really dipped, but he's been doing certain things like that. One thing I would say with Arteta is the drop-off, even though Saka, for example, are like one of our most dangerous goal threats and all these things, is the drop-off in Saka moving from right wing, and going to left back. Does that have more consequences than moving Xhaka out of midfield? I think no, because, the drop-off, I know Pepe's not Saka, but Pepe's got a half-decent relationship with Cedric. Pepe is still somewhat a dangerous player for us. Is that less of a drop-off than moving Xhaka to left back, where Xhaka, as you've seen, is not an out-and-out left back anyways, but also on that, you lose a lot from our midfield, a midfield that has already lost Thomas Partey. And then, as I said, I'm not against that midfield that played against Brighton in the future, but Lokonga, Smith Rowe, Odegaard, they're still learning the game. Odegaard is bare. It just about knows how to play as a 10, let alone an 8, a position I think he could do. Smith Rowe is still learning, playing everywhere, but still learning. Lokonga is still learning if he's an 8 or a 6. So when these lot have to be given different roles in the middle of the park, and then on that, it's just a random trio, that's going to have a knock-on effect, especially when we're a team that don't have that 8. We over-rely on the centre-backs or Granit Xhaka for build-up play. We've got our first-choice full-backs gone. So, and for me, if you're going to play that lineup, then you might as well just be mad attacking in the game. We didn't do that. So it makes me look at Arteta and the players what was we working on all week to go to Brighton with? And I just think Arteta as well, really, and you've played enough times against Graham Potter, you can't do that foolishness against Graham Potter. He's a certified manager. You can get away with that against Norwich and Leeds and these sort of things, respectfully. You can't finesse him like that. He's not a dickhead. Like, we tried to we really underestimated what they were coming with. Maybe the form played an example. I do get what Arteta is saying in that why he tried. There was a method to his madness, but that's the risk you take. You're either a genius or an idiot. And, respectfully, for that game, he was an idiot. I feel the Brighton game is more on Arteta and the Palace game is more on the players, but it interlaps. The players, regardless, against Brighton were very toothless. Mikel Arteta had Xhaka running further forward, showing naivety. Selhurst Park, Xhaka's playing as an advanced 8 rather than protecting Tavares. Tavares was poor, but you know that you've said he weren't the most confident because he ain't been playing. We know Tavares is a loose cannon. We know he's a madman, so we didn't protect him. And I just feel in that game as well, Saka and Martinelli swapping flanks. You know, Mikel Arteta moving Martinelli left back. So you know you fucked up with the Xhaka thing. You can't afford to take these gambles at this point in the season. And for me, Dons only do that when they know, regardless of what happens, they're staying at the club. And that's where I would just like that healthy bit of pressure from those above for Mikel Arteta. Because it kind of is the same logic of a semi-final against an experienced UNAI Emery, where you're just randomly playing false nines. It's not making sense. I don't know, man. You lot are on top form, man. If you could convert Xhaka and Lacazette excuses and apologies to goals, we'd be in a better position. Amen, man. Ifs and buts, man. One love to you lot, man. And we don't create chances. So even that, like, we need a striker, but we don't create. So even if a striker comes, we're not showing. We need that number 8. Even with an 8, I haven't really seen enough to say we're going to create chances. Like, we're Arsenal Football Club. You should love being an attacking player here. You should be giving. You should be. You know when obviously, one love to the grandmas out there. You know when you go to your grandma's yard and she's just forcing you to eat. That's what it should be in the pitch. Like you should be beg. You should be as an attacking player at this football club. You should be happy to play here. Even when Aubameyang was in form and his attitude and them things weren't a problem, he was just running around for the sake of it. We don't create, and we don't score enough. We don't create enough, regardless of what we might be doing. And again, it comes back to the number 8, man. It comes back to the number 8, man. Even when exactly he was playing Willian and all these things there, the drop off is terrible, bro. The drop off is terrible. Shamaka would be lit. We need a centre mid, man. We'd all love Renato Sanchez and Darwin. We love a lot of people. One love for the super chat. Happy 27th, DG. Happy 27th birthday, DG. The man that never stops working. All blessings your way, brother. I appreciate that. And nothing could be achieved without you, lot. Would you take Cucurella? Yeah, not really feeling him. I want to get that Guerrero, brother. But yeah, man. There is still a chance we can get top 4. But for me, I'd say Arteta's overachieved Emery because he's won a trophy. I mean, top 4 is the Champions League, the promised land, but that's all it is. I honestly, I'd think twice about giving Lacazette the ball. Yeah, they're not ready. They're not ready. So maybe Mikel Arteta is overestimating these lots' footballing IQ at this moment in time or their adaptability. Because like I said, they haven't locked down their own jobs. I see what he's trying to do. He's trying to do the City thing where Kevin, Gundogan, Grealish, Bernardo, they all play different roles and all of these things. But them man have been there, done it. They understand their roles before you start chopping and changing things. We've got a very elementary squad. So I don't know, people. Hit the like button if you haven't. One love to the Twitch gang as well as the YouTube folks, people. So yeah, I don't really know, man. Man said Rafael Guerrero agenda needs to be pushed until we see the links. DG, what shocks me the most is how deep our defense sits to the point where teams impose their game on us. I don't think we sit deep enough, really. I think we're too high and quite naive, but I hear that. Love for saying happy birthday as well. Very true about the healthy pressure from above. It's human nature to play safe instead of trying mad things in crunch moments. Exactly. And again, that sideways passing is because we over-rely on our centre-halves because, again, we haven't got that number 8. And I just feel regardless of new players, our movement isn't the best anyways, Our movement is quite meaty. And these are the things I want to see Arteta doing. And I can't lie, this season we've been on the front foot a lot more than we was last season. We do try and impose our own sort of game and them things there, but it's still probably not levels in it, really and truly. Like, it's still probably not levels. Yeah, like somebody said, what Emery has achieved over a decade in Europe is incredible, but he's also on course for a successive 7th place finish with Villarreal side, who should be top 5, having also underwhelmed with league returns at Sevilla and Arsenal. At some clubs, this matters more than others. And it's like what this guy is saying here. I'm glad that Unai Emery is getting his flowers, but saying that Arsenal shouldn't have sacked him is just intellectually dishonesty. Just because he's achieved more than Arteta doesn't mean he's a better fit. It's clear he's suited to clubs like Sevilla and Villarreal, and that's fine. Fair play. But with that, I think that ends the closing stages of that. Let's actually see what by now, because they said today full Xhaka comments would come out. Xhaka's been pleading with fans and things like that. Let's get into it, man. Again, they say I think his full comments will be on the player tribute. And they said the 13th, it would come, the full thing would come out. Man just said coming soon. Shout out Xhaka though, man, because I quite like the guy, man. You know, I don't know why he shouldn't be playing all the time, but I just think there's just something very likable about Granit Xhaka. He's shit as he is, but yeah, man. On that though, let's get into this transfer business, man. Well, when I say transfer business, you know what I mean. Where is the Xhaka thing? Sorry, folks, I need to find it. So many tabs. There it is. Let's get these timestamps done properly. What's the actual 52:07? But yeah, again, full comments are to come out later or in due course. I take it, people. But for what it's worth, Granit Xhaka has said. Granit Xhaka issues passionate plea to Arsenal fans as he sets a record straight. Granit Xhaka has vowed to win over Arsenal fans and revealed he won't leave the club until he wins something special. Xhaka has been with Arsenal for nearly 6 years and he's made 242 appearances across all comps. Blah, blah, blah. He's 29 years of age. We all know what it is with Xhaka, man. It is what it is. On the player, in a snippet of his interview, the player tribute, where it's not out yet, people. It will come out soon, so we can't see that yet. He has said himself, I want to have a better relationship with the people outside, with the fans, to be closer with them. We never meet them. We never have a conversation with them. They're only seeing us on the pitch for 90 minutes and goodbye. They don't know how we trained before. They don't know how you feel. They don't know if you have problems with your family. They don't know a lot of points. And it's true. If we could see a lot of that, I always say it would be a lot more sympathetic. Like when we say you lot lack heart and desire, and if we saw what you lot were seeing and saw the human element, we'd be a lot more nicer to you. But at the same time, and I'm not talking about scapegoating or agendas, and fans shouldn't care. It's not our job to see that. It's our job to go to work, be normal humans in society, pay our taxes, look after our families. We hear what you lot are saying on the Friday or whatever in the press conferences, and then we see it on the Saturday. We don't know what it's not for us to care. You know, your family is kind of irrelevant. You know, how hard you train, you should be training hard. You should be training properly. How you feel, of course, human element. We want to see people play well, but at the same time, that's crazy. You know, it's not for us to care about none of that. After the season, I still have 2 years contract here. I will give everything until I'm at this football club. Until I'm at this football club, I'm not sure what that means. I always say that I didn't sign a new contract to be here for enjoying my time and that's it. No, I want to achieve something with this club, something special. And before that, I don't leave. Until, you know, Jose Mourinho chats to you and things like that. So until his extended comments come up, that's all there is where Granit Xhaka is concerned. Don't forget, people, shameless. Hit the like button. Atletico Madrid versus City watch along business later. What one's this? Oh, that's nothing. So yeah, make sure you're there for that. That's Granit Xhaka. We've seen that already. Apparently, Ian Wright, big up Righty.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian. Come on.
Yeah, big up Ian. But apparently, you know, he's drawn out Eddie Nketiah. He has slammed Eddie Nketiah for failing to step up following Aubameyang's departure and feels he's wasted a golden opportunity, people. Ian Wright said, for the last however many games we've got left, I would probably sit Eddie down and say, listen, I don't know what the hell's going on in your head, but we've got rid of Aubameyang. You're an up-and-coming striker. You were here in the spell when he wasn't scoring. You're here now when Lacazette isn't scoring. You're a centre forward, and when you're coming on, I'm not seeing it. He needs that talk to say there's an opening as a number 9 at Arsenal. I mean, Ian Wright, didn't you do the strike? Wasn't you a temporary striking coach at Leeds when he was there? So you see that he's not good enough for this thing, man. If someone has that chat with him, it does and looked okay, but he's not enough of a goal threat because he's not goal it. You know, he's not goal it. At least for us, you know, and he's went to speak about when he was at Palace and that he's not goal it. Eddie's not that. Like, it's under 21s, under 23s bully. He's not got it, at least at this football club. He might have it one day, but he ain't got it in him. Sokratis has had something to say. Allegedly, he's not the only one who left this way. Sokratis hits out at Arsenal for Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang's sour exit, as he claims letting the striker join Barcelona was not the correct choice. Scrolling all the way down to what Sokratis had to say, he told The Sun that Arsenal have a habit of allowing players to leave in the same manner as Aubameyang. As you know, Mesut, Willian, Mustafi, Kolasinac all left. I mean, you're all shit. Aubameyang is not the only one who left this way from Arsenal. Other players also left like that, including myself. I don't know, and personally, I don't think it was the correct choice. The matter could have been resolved differently. I've known Aubameyang for many years. I know what he can do as a footballer. I'm certain of what he'll do at Barcelona. Regarding his own exit from Arsenal, the way I left was not the best. I was left out of the team, but it's a matter I haven't spoken about yet. I respected the manager's choice. I spoke with him. So, yeah, it is what it is. And, yeah, man, there's that. I think that's all he's had to say, people. With that, yeah, that's Sokratis. That's the same things as Sokratis. Arsenal told to pay 58 million for big talent. Apparently, Paris Saint-Germain are calling their interest in Lucas Paqueta. They're unwilling to meet the demands, people. They want 58. Lyon want 58 million for him, which, as much as I like him, he's probably not the number 8 we potentially need. I only saw this a few days ago. Shout out to Granit Xhaka, and, you know, sorry for the loss of his grandma, man, because, again, Xhaka just gets on with things. I wouldn't have known that, and I have to admire him for that. Xhaka insists he'll win. He's desperate to win fans over. Is this the same thing? Yeah, it is. Well, I mean, Granit, you know, I'm sure many fans won't really draw you out, but it's not levels. Kolo Toure's bitter Arsenal dispute with William Gallas. We didn't talk to each other. Shout out Gallas. Shout out to Kolo, man. Fuck Gallas. Somebody knows. You know this guy was a dud, man. Where's the comments? When you play with someone and you don't even talk to each other on the pitch, it's really difficult. Me and Gallas, he's celebrating there, we didn't talk to each other at all. One of us had to go, and it was me. It was coming down to me, really, because I didn't want to put the team in a difficult position. So I was the one who said I wanted to go. As a player, I had great respect for Gallas because he was older than me. And in Africa, when someone is older, you have respect for them. But I think sometimes he took advantage of that in some ways. I had 6 years at Arsenal, but the last 2 were very difficult. It can happen in football that you argue with someone in training, but when you're not even talking on the pitch, something has to change. He then spoke about an incident at Aston Villa. He said, I think he understood he had to sell. One of us wish it was Gallas. I didn't, and they gave me a chance. I was a nobody when I went there, and there was no problem with Arsenal, not at all. I have a huge respect for him, but I was not feeling happy in the team, and for me, I was looking for somewhere else and a new challenge. I think it was the right time for me and for Arsenal, and I'm at a club now where I'm happy. I mean, you just wanted the peas, man. It's cool, man. Any Gallas agendas, I'm here for it. Nobody needs to tell me to pull up because I'll be there. So yeah, that's that, man. Bit of an overkill, but yeah, that's that. Really. Not really anything too exciting. Kolo was better than Gallas, bro. Gallas can everything. Hella clickbait, bro. He shouldn't need that talk. How can Ian blame Nketiah when he hard? I don't think he listened respectfully, Omar. He didn't blame him. He's saying, come on and look 30. Like, appreciate that, Roger. Come on. Hopefully Arsenal don't spoil it for us, man. Come on, let's get to 200 likes. I mean, but we know players play with knocks, players play with fatigues, players play with injuries. Very few players are at 100% consistently when they're kicking ball. We lost our style of play under Arteta. Emery had both Laka and Aubameyang firing and was told to drop Ozil, and that's when he lost the dressing room. I mean, we style of play under Emery, I very much doubt so. If anything, we were somewhat regained it under Mikel Arteta, but it's meaty. Not rating the Napoli midfielder anymore. No, Fabian Ruiz is free to arrive. I'm sorry, but this Xhaka saga just needs to end, man. Whether it's Emery or Aubameyang or anyone, I respectfully don't really care what they're doing. If they couldn't do at Arsenal, then I'm not wasting energy on it. Appreciate the birthday messages. Best way to go versus Chelsea, West Ham United is a back three of wing backs for sure. I don't know, man. DG, do you think White slows the game down? Nope. Appreciate that, man. Hopefully the hard work will pay off, man. It's crazy, man. Fair play to Emery. He's doing a job at Villarreal, but Bearman acting as if he shouldn't have been sacked at the time he was because of last night's result against Bayern. It's true, man. It's crazy, man. Would you give Eddie a chance? Been least, boy. The way Lacazette's playing, you can't do any worse giving him an opportunity. But I'd rather just do the Martinelli thing through the middle. If I'm honest with you, I mean, Emery's unbeaten run, I've said it before, and you can go back to them times there on my YouTube. It was one of the worst things to happen at the time because, listen, it's a results-driven business. When you're winning and you're unbeaten, it doesn't matter. But we were stinking up the place. There was far too many games we're having to rely on second-half subs and all of those sort of things, man, and come back from behind. Like, we're celebrating doing that against Cardiff. Like, it's a results-driven business, but it was stinky. A bit like our unbeaten run here. To look at that specifically. And obviously there were good games in that. But how many clean sheets did we keep in this as well? How do you actually find that, man? It was papering over hella cracks. Said it at the time. Where is it? Like, is there a way I could actually find that, people? Like, the games should be on Transfermarkt, no? If I could find that, that would be something healthy to talk about, man. You man are in the mud. Maybe, man. Maybe, man. People forget that despite his successes at Villarreal, they're 7th in the league with 1 win in their last 5 and 10 points off Europa League spot. Maybe Southampton might, man. We'll just have to wait till Saturday, bro. I remember them DG videos on the 22 unbeaten run because people weren't having it, love. I can't lie. The darkest times for me on YouTube, not darkest, but was that 22 unbeaten run and trying to explain to people that Lacazette's not the guy because now they see it. I was telling guys, Lacazette, unfortunately, like, I love the guy, but you can't let your love for a player gash you. He's never did it. Like, he's never did it. I was one of Lacazette's greatest defenders, you know, sitting here gassing. Remember, real Lacazette supporters, remember, there was a time, yeah, when we genuinely used to get angry at Arsene Wenger. Like, why does he keep taking them off at the 60th, 70th minute? Statistically, that's when a lot of goals are scored in the Premier League. We were saying all of that. Can't blame White for slowing the game down when no one in midfield or up front, I would say, is moving. His last season, this is with Emery, with Sevilla, they didn't win a single game away from home. I wish him well, but whenever he's joined a club that puts a lot more emphasis on the league position, he's failed. Exactly. You know, and also with what you said there, you know, he had a terrible away record at our club. Top 4 or sack for Teta, DG, or do you extend the contract because of the progress? I think he will get a contract already. I do think giving him a new contract could tell long-term targets or people that are at the club that he's here for the long term. If he gets top 4, I think he should get a new deal. If he doesn't, then I would hold off and see what next season is saying because, you know, you've got a year to run on your contract. Let's see. You know, if you get top 4, that's overachieving. You know, I don't think you should necessarily get a new contract because you've got Arsenal higher than 8th after finishing back-to-back. You've not done anything. You've not exceeded anything, any expectations. You know, like I look at Thomas Tuchel when he got a new contract at Chelsea, he deserves that. Good morning, DG. Next game will show all. Will the team pick themselves up and fight after 2 poor games or just flop? We're gonna have to see. They have to stop feeling sorry for themselves. Yeah, Laka's evidently declining. Evidently, man called him a gold chick. Man said he can't be asked with another year under Arteta. It might be that though, brother. It might be that though, man. It might legit be that. Which is crazy, but mate. I just don't know what to make of it. To be brutally honest with you. It's crazy. Crazy stuff going on, man. I can't lie. I do hope we're able to do a thing against Southampton, but I don't know, man. We just gonna have to see. It's quite scary, man. That not knowing where you stand with this club, man. Well, man, like Zalbelea. Boy. Come on. You love to see, bro. I can't rate Naguzman, man, after the headphone thing. Juicy. If we're in Conference League, then we're in Conference League, bro. It is what it is, you know. If that's what's happening, that's what's happening. Man's you're trying so hard to get a bite from, man, innit? This ain't the place. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but yeah, man, like this ain't the place for that, bro. We're too level-headed for that. Maybe, man. You know, if that's what shall be, that shall be, man. What shall be, shall be. What manager would you go for if Arteta was to get sacked for not getting fourth? I don't know, man. I'll be real. I don't know. I do like Inter Milan's gaffer, but I don't know, man. But I wouldn't leave Inter necessarily for Arsenal. Benitez, nah, I'm not on that. Why do you call yourself Deluded Gooner? I said it's a secret, man. DG, do you think there's a role at the club for Wenger, even if it's not an official one? He says he hasn't been back to the Emirates yet. And like Wenger used to say, we can't invent artificial positions. So if there's not a specific role already, then no. I would like to see him be an ambassador. That would probably let him do his FIFA work, and he's employed with Arsenal, but he's probably still too emotionally attached. And although I would like his experience, you know, one thing I think went against Wenger, he started making, as when I look at El Nene, Coquelin, and Giroud new deals, he started making good decisions for him, not necessarily the club. And when you're still emotionally attached, can I trust you to do the right job? I do think, listen, you're definitely better at Edu than his job, and you definitely got things you can add. But do I think it's necessarily the right one? I don't know, man. I'd take Sarri. He's been linked with us. Already offered the Sokratis thoughts. He just weren't really anything. Man said Mancini. Why not, man? If Arteta left. If we do another year under Arteta, you lot will have to watch the games for me. Can't handle that. You know you'll be watching the games, man. Would you take Wilshere back next season? For what? Another one you can't say we should try and convince Jurgi Low. Why not, man? I wouldn't say he'd be ideal to take over at the Emirates now. Maybe with these base of players, but Emery is shit in the league. You know, if we're going to be shit in the league and scum it in cups, well, boy, if we're not going to do anything serious, anything serious higher than that, I'm for that. But yeah, man, like he's about to finish 7th again. You know, and I remember when he was top of the league, they've actually been dropping their thingies. You know, when he was higher in the league in the first half of the season, you knew where they were. Now they're 7th. No one's saying anything. Conte has tested positive for COVID, people, which hopefully he gets better. What a performance Luka Modric had yesterday, man. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Serious player, bro. Crazy. Of Conte's not 30, man. I'm not Conte. Kroenke is always going to be there. Yeah, I've seen Barca's interest. Nice to see they're interested. Hopefully they don't sell him to them. They do want a left-sided centre-back. Surely they need to clip some more players before they get some in. But who knows, man? What else is going on in the world of football? Let me do the social media thing. Wait. Slow news day, mate. It's a slow, very slow news day. Anyway, wait. Appreciate that, man. It could be better, man. Spending my birthday with you. Look, this is lit. Spurs have an elite manager, not one learning in his first job. Conte links get him layers from Juventus. We got Edu. Edu's not a hustler, man. That's Edu's problem, bro. He ain't punching. He ain't doing nothing. It's quite brazy, man. Literally nothing. Like we're bleeding. Like we're bleeding, people. Conference League, but it's his chances for top 4 slim. Got it. Still, thank you, man. Still have a chance, but it's a myth. I definitely wish I was in Miami. Happy birthday to you. Have a chance, but it's next to nothing, really. Spurs, Arsenal with it all to do. Spurs in the driving seat, but you never know if Arsenal and Spurs drop points in the next 2 games, and United get 6 points. There you have it. Quite crazy. Right, people. Not the guy, man. Love my dude. I mean, Sokratis just sounded a bit charged. He just said, long story short, he said he didn't leave in the way he wanted, and he just disagreed with Aubameyang leaving. And he said quite a few people done that. Respect the Grand DG. Personally, man would be out shopping B-Day crepes. I can't lie. Aye, man. Already got them. Don't worry, man. Don't worry. There's enough hours in the day, man. There's enough hours in the day, man. There's enough hours in the day, man. I'll be back at 7:30 as well. Do not forget. Also, people, don't forget YouTube and Twitch. We're watching Champions League live from 7:30. Set your reminders. Hit the like button. Do what you got to do on this video. And that one is what it is. What have you said? If we could just sign players not getting linked with, this would be better. I mean, we're always going to be linked with players. I do think the club are working on signings, but working on our application to get in signings needs a lot of help. We just need to get it over the window, man. Get them done and get them confirmed, man, and get over the line and get through the window. But we just make things harder than they need to be. Especially when it's at times it's like we've got a free hit at players. Like, without knowing everything, it seemed like if you wanted Aouar, you could have had him. If you wanted Guimaraes, you could have had him. If you wanted Sanchez, which I don't think we want, you could have had him. But we didn't. Come on. Do you think we're replacing Gabriel in the summer? Well, if he gets sold, we're going to have to, but I hope not. I really, really hope not. I don't want to sell Gabriel. I think just after we've spent a whole lot of money getting a decent defense and whatnot, we're just going to have to do it all over again. I wish, man. I don't want Aouar Sanchez. Who do they want then? Don't make no sense. What's your dream birthday vacation, DG? Jamaica or Barbados? But if it's not a country I'm actually from, Maldives, Brazil, Miami, Atlanta, Cancun, Las Vegas, LA, something like that. You're looking forward to the Amazon Prime documentary. Well, definitely when we've had a season we've had with literally ups and downs. I know, man. One thing that worries me about Arteta leaving is I don't think the board has a clear philosophy on how we should play. So the next manager wouldn't even suit the squad. Bro, we don't have our club should have what Arsenal's about, and then the managers reflect it. That's the problem. We've forgotten our identity, man. Mancini still ranked the 6th best football manager of world football. We need managers of this pedigree to match the spuds, Liverpool and Cities of this world. I hear you, but and ifs and buts are not things. But would we be saying that if we didn't drop winning points from winning positions against Crystal Palace, against Everton, or against United? We might not. I want Aouar to go back to that though. I still can't understand how Xhaka is still an Arsenal player. He's more of a liability than he is reliable. Lack of squad depth really shows. Happy birthday, bro, and bless up. Appreciate that. And there's nothing I can add on to what you said, man. Shout out the Bayesian tugs them 100%. I think the young lads don't have confidence in Laka as a striker. If you look at our games, they're just trying to score without passing because he don't want to, bro. Might be a big Sam job. I know we're staying in the league, man. That ain't like the first half of the season, broski. We're good now. We're good. We need someone that can just do a thing. Crazy, man. I mean, the Real Madrid still wanna sell Rodrigo. Might as well do this thing. Definitely. Man said big Sam. Arteta was ranked 30th. Where are these rankings? Like, where are these rankings? Who is ranking them? What am I ranking? I don't want a manager because of rankings. Like, I'm not saying you're wrong or anyone's right, but where are these rankings coming from? Of course, I want one. Who wouldn't want the best or a best manager in the world? You know, look at Thomas Tuchel. People weren't really rating him like that. People weren't even really rating him at Chelsea like that. Now they're rating him. And I wonder where he was at the start. And his reputation took a beating after PSG. Now look at him. Emery's reputation took a beating after PSG and Arsenal. Now look at him. I'm not saying Arteta is in the pedigree as these guys because he's never done what they've done. But what is this rating thing? Where are these ranking things? What's the website? Where do I find this? Laka's head is already on his next club. Why would you give your all for a club that won't be employing you by the end of May? Because you're probably going to, if you know your next club, then fair enough. But you're going to be a free agent. It's in your best interest, in my opinion, to play well and obviously tout yourself to other suitors. Personally, Arteta got manager of the month and thought the season was, bro, this manager of the month curse is real, man. Spurs got 2 good players who are helping them to challenge for top 4 with a great manager, while Arteta is sitting on his hand. Big up, my guy. Happy birthday, bro. More life. Let's hope we secure that dub Saturday. Amen. Thank you very much for your kind words. It's litty. One love to the Twitch and YouTube gang. You know, Twitch, we was here earlier and we're here now. Part of the furniture. Hey, we're almost at 200 likes. 176 people. Come on, man. We're close. 244 of you locked in on YouTube. Would you take Bielsa? Nah, because them man can't. Well, we already got bare injuries in a small squad. But they can't handle his training sessions. They'll be dead. That's the only reason, man. Had it for a minute still. How comes there's so few doping violations in football? What I will say, yeah, in football, and I listen, I don't want anyone to come after me. What I would say is there is a number of cases where not necessarily doping, but certain things get brushed under the. Certain people are doing something booked, Charlie, and it's getting brushed under the carpet. So I'd probably say that really, and how you can do all of them thing there. But I truthfully don't know. We'd have to speak to, you know, in comparison to the others, you'd have to speak. Man said you're drunk. You definitely never see me on a night out. You're going crazy, bro. You're going crazy. Yo, you might have already spoken on this, but he's saying for that 9 position for the last 8 games, stick with Laka, Pepe, Gabby, God forbid, but Eddie. I'm gonna sound like a madman, but part of me says you might as well just stick with Lacazette. If it's not adapting, then well, my first option would be Martinelli up front. He needs to learn. If people are just playing, like if we're just doing things for a young team and it's not necessarily about this season, then you might as well just give Martinelli that experience. You know, I would say that would be it for me. If Lacazette's not playing, I would say you do the Martinelli thing. I'm not really with this Pepe false nine thing, but I'd probably explore that before Eddie and Nketiah. But if it's a case of not unbalancing further things, then what have you got to lose throwing Eddie into that? Man said, happy birthday, Rasta. Keep striving. Come on, Zim. Nah, DG Laka is dead wood at the moment. He's got to be dropped for the bench for a bit. All right, listen, if he gets dropped, he gets dropped. I'm just saying, I would drop him as well. I'm just saying, I can understand why he might still be in the team. Man said 3-5-2, Laka, Martinelli top with Odegaard behind them. I don't mind that. Look at Bayern, how quick their players get bowler. Yeah, some man are defo juicing, man. Stick with Laka. No, man. When Laka's not performing, he should get dropped. I'm just saying I could see why he's going to play him there. I could see why he would play him there. I want him to be dropped, but then would I rather Eddie or Laka on one point? Eddie can't do much worse and he's got a point to prove, but I'd still rather Laka. If it's not Martinelli up front, then for me, when it comes to midfield and striker, I'm disinterested this season. I'll be real with you. Like, it's not 30, man. Like, it's meaty. Like, and a lot of you that are getting at Laka, but when I was telling you these things about Laka, you lot tried to fight me. Appreciate the super chat, my guy Dominic. We don't get many of those. Happy birthday, DJ. Appreciate all the content over the years. Been my go-to stream over many nights after a long day. Here's to 50k upwards and onwards. Appreciate that, my guy, man. At least Eddie is hitting the woodwork in his cameo. Oh, you might as well. Do you know what? Because Laka's not doing the. You know when a player's contract is up and they play well. Laka's not doing that. Maybe Eddie will do that. I want to see Eddie and Nketiah's phone ring for once. You know, in the last couple of games, he's hitting the crossbar, he's hitting the post, he's getting closer. So maybe, man, maybe. Why not? You know, but my number one would be Martinelli up front. And I guess that means I would probably say on current form, that probably means Smith Rowe drops. You know, it's between Smith Rowe and Odegaard. Both of them could be dropped for either one, to be fair, on current form. Part of me prefer Smith Rowe at the moment, but I would say if it's up to me, then I'm going Martinelli up front, Pepe/Saka on either wing, and then Odegaard, and the rest falls into place. The rest is just meaty, man. Gabby is staying, hopefully. Football is caffeine doping. That's why there's more cases of cardiac arrest on the pitch. I don't know about that, but yeah, man, shout out to you, man. Xhaka for captain after that statement. Man said, Eddie ran out of credit a long time ago. Ain't no one calling that, bruh. Phone's been ringing in a little the last couple of games, but the call always dropped. Bro, that's WhatsApp call. That ain't even real phone calls yet, man. Would you take Robbie? Look, fucking hell, man. Big up, Don Robbie. Nah. We need goals, but we'll have the same problem Chelsea have. You know what? I'd rather someone score. Nah, man. Because we'll have the same issues. Gabby left back, holding Ben. Who's Gabby? Is that Gabriel Martinelli? Either way, I'm not on it. No. Someone top up Eddie's phone. Bro, someone needs to put a fucking SIM card in Eddie's phone before you talk about. He ain't got the SIM in there, bro. It only works when you got Wi-Fi in that, man. Big up Eddie and Nketiah, because listen, I want to see it, but it's meaty, man. Man said Werner. Yeah, I like Latoro, but the problem is he's never. Obviously, he might have a breakout season, but I think the most he's got in the league is 13, 14, 15. So is it that thing? I don't know. Really don't know. I would take Lukaku. At least we could sell him for some. Bro, you not with us. You think we're selling Lukaku for bread? You're better than that. You know we're not making no bread on Lukaku. We'll sell him for about £2 on a Tottenham cake, bro. You're going crazy. Pardon me. We don't know how to. We even forgot how to. We used to hustle. We don't know how to hustle. What you saying with Reece? I used to be a huge fan, but he ain't kicked on, man. I'm still a huge fan. I want him and Ainsley to get a chance, but it's me. Eddie will be playing in the Championship next season. He's dead food. Striker with a 13, 14, 15 in the season sounds dreamy right now. Bars on the floor when we overcompensate with working hard. A man runs about. Like, I'm not criticizing Lacazette or what he's giving, because as poor as he's been in the last few games, I think people have done a complete change around. But at the same time, I said it then and I'll say it now, you're in a dangerous ground when you're praising hard work. And anyone that's played Sunday League, Charlie, I know you have. when we talk about footballers, or you're talking about footballers with your brethren, and you say, "Oh yeah, he's a good player, man." When they're 30, you say, "Yeah, he's got vision. You know, he can put a ball on a sixpence. He's got eye of a needle pass." When they're shit, he puts in a shift. If you put in a shift, you're not good, bro. Like the bar's on the floor for working hard and general play, and that's for me why there's somewhat no excuse for bringing in a younger striker in January, because I know there's the market to us fans. The striking pool is dead, in it. But if we're not necessarily looking for goals, we're looking at link-up play and work rate. Are we really going to be honest with ourselves and say there's man that can't do what Lacazette does? Respectfully. He ain't got, like I said, forget the reception. You need a SIM card. Eddie, respectfully, ain't got a SIM card right now. He played half decent at Selhurst Park because he knew he's in his neck of the woods. He knew he's in South London. He probably got a little missus over there that's watching the game. He wants to gas it up and that. Should have got Morata in January. At least he can do the Giroud. He didn't want it. You know, Allegri said stay and you will be playing with Vlahovic, and he did. Man said he's been trying to use the house phone. Using a phone box. Again, I love Eddie, man. I want the Halen boys to listen. I still think, funny enough, Eddie should be given a new deal if he's on it, just so you can sign that deal. 4 years, option of a fifth. Go out on loan. Let's see what you're on in the next 18 months. Make some money, man. Just like Balogun. If Balogun's not 30 in the next few years, boom, boom, boom. Safe. You just because you're not good for us don't mean we can't make some cash. Putting in the shifts a minimum, man. And we keep doing this thing at Arsenal. Oh, he works hard. He's good for the young players. Everyone should be good for the young players, bro. Arguably, now, for me anyways, unpopular opinion, now that we've phased out the bad influences, being a good role model should be irrelevant because everyone seems like a good person. The younger players should set a great example for the even younger players, what they do. I would take Ivan Toney at Arsenal. Not as the main striker, though. Yeah. Nah, man, we don't. I don't know about that. We don't. Them thing there. I don't know who that is. Can't come back. We just need guys who can do it, bro. Like we just need guys that can do it. So we're not overcompensating on bullshit. We just need the guys that can do it, man. I love Lacazette. I don't know why, but he's not been the guy we thought. I love him, and it hurts me to kind of criticize him to this. But I've got to be honest. Like, he's not the guy. Whenever Arsenal were going to stop scoring, we're going to be looking at Lacazette sideways, bro. You know, I would actually. Is there a way? I swear you can go on PremierLeague.com and you can actually see how many shots Dons have taken. Because Lacazette doesn't shoot, man. There's been games Gabriel has had more shots. And that's the problem. Anytime you've got a striker that's not shooting, respectfully, because he's not to blame for all the issues, bro. We're in problems. Like, I swear there's a way to see stats on that, man. Premier League stats. There's definitely Premier League stats. It's my birthday. So let's keep this up. Obviously, the man are meant to link me soon. We're going for a quick lunch, and that goes. Where's shots, man? I'd forget goals. I want to see shots, like player stats. Where like just shots, like not goals, shots. Literally just shots, bro. Just shots. I want to see where Arsenal. Look. Oh, sorry, people. The screen ain't even think. If you don't shoot, you don't score. I expect, without looking, to see people like Harry Kane, Salah. Who else shoots an awful lot? Funny enough, I think Mount might be in the top 20. But yeah, like. Obviously, these are shots. Salah's up there. Salah's got the most goals in it. Fucking up, bro. Look who's got the most Arsenal. I can't lie to you. I didn't think Saka would be that high. But Saka's had 72 shots, and he's one of our top goal scorers. Now, Saka is learning to score goals. Now, what's going on there? Look who the company now. And Antonio, the best in the Prem, Jamaican international, but he's tired. You know, with respect to Ronaldo, who at a time was among the top goal scorers doing the Bandulu thing. You don't shoot, you don't score. Like. You'd expect to see this, even Bruno. Like, again, does it go deeper? Yeah, it does. So let's find the next Arsenal player. So Saka, just to confirm for everyone, Saka 7th, joint with Antonio in it, 72 shots apiece for them. Let's find the next Arsenal player. That's 18. There's 18 on this list. Now we're into the top 40. There's one player in the top 40 in the Premier League for Arsenal Football Club who is taking shots. Once again, one player in the top 40 players that's taking shots. You don't shoot, you don't score. When you can't shoot, when you don't create, you're in trouble. You know, look how long it's taken. 41. There's Lacazette, 44 shots. Bro, Partey, and we've all seen Partey shots. Lacazette has taken less shots than Che Adams, bro. Like, come on, look who the company you're around, bro. Fucking right back has taken 2 less shots than you. Havertz is a false 9 and all these things. He's not necessarily known for goals as good as he is. You're not in 30 territory. You know, look where you are. And let's not to criticize Lacazette, bro. Certain men are shooting more than you. Well, Phil, obviously he's playing for City, but certain men are taking more. Bro, Pookie is taking more shots than you. Look at what's going on. Mason Mount, as I said, I thought he'd be in the top 20. He's 21st, taking more shots than you. You know, Martinelli after Lacazette and Partey, which Partey's not a goal scorer. Lacazette should be, but you're not. You've got Martinelli 56th, and he only really starting week in, week out in the Premier in a hot second. Then you've got Smith Rowe. So it's really the young players thing. So this is meaty. In the top 100, bro, that's 3 players. In the top 100 in this Premier League. Then, obviously, the next Arsenal player is Gabriel. And Gabriel's had 23 shots in comparison to Lacazette. Maybe. Big chances missed. What's this? I don't think Arsenal are going to be up there for that because we don't create that many big chances still. So, big chances missed. Lacazette's missed 6th. Right up there for Arsenal. Not a goal scorer. Then, obviously, you've got Smith Rowe and probably Saka's not going to follow him too far. There you have it. These are guys learning to score goals respectfully, you know. What other ones are there to look at? Passes. I bet you see our centre-halves. And again, this kind of highlights why we need a number 8. I bet you our centre-halves are there before any of our midfielders. Whoa! Top 20. What do you see? Gabriel. Now, when we play out from the back, that makes sense. But once the ball goes into midfield, this is our issue. You look at some clubs, City, you've got the fullback, you've got the centre half, you've got the centre mid. When's the next Arsenal player involved? Ben White, our second centre half. The top 22 players in the Prem for passing are our 2 centre halves. So playing out from the back makes sense. But once it goes into midfield, what's going on? How quick until we find a midfielder? Exactly, especially centre mid, not Smith Rowe and these guys. Centre mid, Xhaka, Lokonga, Partey, etc. That was 40. We now have to go to 51, Partey. And then after that, Martin Odegaard. And then let's see the top 100. Then after that, Granit Xhaka. And Xhaka's meant to be the guy for the... Stats aren't everything, but Xhaka's meant to be the guy for the build-up play. Tierney's in the top 100 as well. And we've lost Tierney as well. So these are the problems, innit? These are the problems. Is there big chances missed? Did we look at that? We might have looked at this already, people. But big chances missed. At least you've got to be in the box to take chances, really. And Kane's finding his feet. Kane's a serious goal scorer, as is Salah. I think we've looked at this already. But big chances missed. Smith Rowe, Lacazette. Well, no, we have looked at that. And I don't think there's anything else. To be fair to Lacazette, he's up there for Arsenal in terms of assists. In fact, we can start doing that. Laka's got 7, Saka's got 5. Want to see a bit more from Odegaard? Oh yeah, shit. You can filter out Arsenal. Let's actually look. Now that we can filter out and just look at Arsenal Football Club, Saka's taking more shots than Lacazette by some considerable distance. Once again, Partey is 3rd. A shot shy striker is 2nd. Partey, our 6th, is 2nd, technically 3rd. Then you've got Martinelli, who's barely been in the team. Odegaard, who we cry about not shooting, is up there. So how are we going to score goals? Aubameyang's 7th. Obviously, he'd be a lot higher if he was playing and still part of this team. Passes at Arsenal Football Club, man. Fair enough. Like I said, there's no centre mid. Xhaka's 5th. The centre halves are 1st. Partey's 3rd. So you've got your 6 and your 2 centre backs. No one that's an 8 in terms of, the 8 is the guy who gets the ball, tries to bring the cam and the strikers in. This kind of tells you the problem. Like, data alone isn't much, but there's, it means something. We've definitely hit the woodwork bare times in the Prem. I knew Eddie and Ketty's hit the woodwork 4 times. So that tells you everything. Stats on everything, but that's just a little glimpse into the class in it, people, really and truly. I'll argue with statistics slowly. Brazy, man. Absolutely brazy. One love to you lot tuned in, though. Come on. Without you lot, this thing is dead. Don't forget 7:30. We're live, man. To inject new momentum, bench Lacquer and bring on one of our most exciting youngsters. Play Pepe as the 9. Martinelli thing, man. 6 big chances is more than goals scored for him on the season, including pens. Is that even if there's no stat where you can look at open play, Pukki could do a job. Come on. I think lack of threat had 4 shots since December. But this is always what he's been. Bro, you might as well play Eddie, bro. Like, when guys are playing like how we're playing, like, you might as well try something in it. Like, maybe, as I said, maybe there's a purple patch brewing for Eddie where he shows us he looks like a Lengman, a goal scorer. 185 likes. Keep running that up, people. I don't know. I really don't. And you're saying Xhaka was injured for a while. Neves up there as well. It's brazy. And that, again, expected to see Rudiger somewhere near there above Lack. And again, this is why when you look at these things, and I consistently, what I just showed you is a glimpse to what I do almost every week and been doing from the start. With some players at this club, as much as I might sound harsh on a couple, there's very few players I have expectations on. So when they're doing things, you might hear me seem a bit less sensitive or what you lot call a cool head. How much I'm going to make myself angry criticizing the fact that Lacazette and Nketiah are not scoring goals, or Arteta's doing this, or Xhaka's done that, or this and that. Like, at some point, I need to be in charge of my own health, innit? Like, very few expectations on certain men. Time to put Martinelli up top, Smith Rowe left wing. We decide to rely on youth in Jan, so I'd rather fall off with them leading us rather than Lack. I hear it. Whether man rate or not, Pepe scores goals. Find a way to fit him in on that inside right because he will bag. I'm here for it. You know, and he's got, you know, when you've been starved of football, you might have a reason to play, even if it's in a healthy way, putting 2 middle fingers up at the gaffer for not playing you, or you're trying to play to move. You know, why not? I'm screaming Martinelli up front. I can get behind the Eddie and Nketiah getting a chance, because I remember a couple of years ago when he came back from that loan spell at Leeds that didn't really bang. I think it was against Leeds and Newcastle. He looked quite good, and he technically kept Aubameyang and Lacazette out the team. So I'm for it. You know, when people are playing well, I don't advocate chopping and changing. When people are looking iffy, then I understand it, man. There's everything behind that. You're right. Still, let me have one last look at Arsenal. Bit disappointed that Xhaka's comments haven't been. I would have thought they said April the 13th. Would have thought it'd been released properly now, but fair enough. Would have loved to have dissected that properly with you lot, but it is what it is, man. And the mother of that kid that got thingy, that Ronaldo slapped the phone, is still milking the thing. Get your money, man. I respect it on one hand slightly. Nah, man, I'm definitely coming live. I'm watching Champions League anyways, bro. As bad as Lacazette is, Eddie can't do the build-up Lacazette does, but the last 2 games, Lacazette was 0 in all aspects. That's why, for me, I'm screaming he might as well get an opportunity. What's this? One sec. Let me review this. We've been linked with Darwin Núñez. Fabrizio Romano says he will leave Benfica. We already know that. Emery's getting a lot of propaganda. Oh, in fact, before we go, people, we can actually get into the Xhaka thing fully. It's here now, people. The last thing we'll do before we get out of here is look at this Granit Xhaka thing. So what's the time? 1 hour, 49, 10. Granit Xhaka speaks on fans relay. Did ask for it to be seen. We're there in it. Now, again, big up Xhaka. I think he's a great story of adversity based on his family's upbringing and his. Respectfully, as much as I admire that as a person, I admire Xhaka as a person and somewhat as a footballer. I only care about the football. You know, the football. My bags were packed. The passports were out. I was done with Arsenal. Finished. There was a contract on the table from another club. All I had to do was sign. I talked to my wife and we decided to leave. I was going to say goodbye to Mikel and then we would board the plane. This was in December 2019. 2 months earlier, well, you know what happened. Maybe you were even there. I was there. That was a fucking pantomime. Like, I remember looking around. I laughed initially out of nervousness, and I swear Terrell was laughing. I just remember just looking around the Emirates and thinking, raw, like, this is fully up. It felt like a pantomime. Like, it felt like Xhaka was a pantomime villain. And I looked around and was like, is this what we've become as a club? I still maintain what I said with Xhaka. I actually support Xhaka in that. Criticism, which Xhaka does, you have to take that. When it goes to another level, I think players are allowed to hit back, and I think some fans are pussies. Just because you pay peas doesn't mean you can talk to someone how you want. You told a man to fuck off. He said suck him, and said fuck off back, and you're crying. What's going on? Anyways, with that, anyways, away from that, it was a dark day. It was a dark day for everyone connected. He said, so I think it's time for me to finally set things straight. First, I want to make it very clear that I love Arsenal. Always did, and I still do. I will give everything for this club until the day I leave. I also know that some people do not like me. This is part of football. And I get some people are going to love you or hate me. It's like me. To some people, you really are deluded, mate. To some people, you're not quite deluded. I just wish I had a pound either way because we'd be on a Roman Abramovich thing. Torreira was crying. It was wrong, but I understand why. He's human, bro. And it just looked like it was just too much now. Like, you've been drawing man out. But that day against Crystal Palace, things went over the line. We had been 2-0 up. They made it 2-2, and I was taken off just about an hour. I'd barely begun. You were shit in that game, though. I begun to move when I heard the boos, and it was not just a few guys in the corner. It was a lot of people. I was shocked. I've never experienced anything like this. When I got close to the tunnel, I looked up at the fans sitting there, and this is the part that I'll always remember. When I close my eyes now, I can still see their faces. I can see their anger. It's not that they don't like me. No, it's different. This is hate, pure hate. And I do think there are some people that agenda you and things. Some, you're not as good as your Xhaka sexuals make out. You're not as bad as your haters make out. The club should not be built around you to the point where you not being in midfield is felt. There's been games we've won and we said maybe we don't need you. There's been games we've lost and we said we need you. That's the problem. And I don't advocate anyone being away from constructive criticism being treated like that. Listen, I've never had a problem with criticism. Was Xhaka shit today? Okay, no problem. But to be booed by your own fans as a captain, that is different. That is about respect. This word has always been huge for me. Ever since I was a kid, it was something I got from my mother. Respect for your parents, respect for your club, respect for your teammates, respect for your fans. You could never play for Real Madrid then. That day, I felt very disrespected. The comments were over the line. It felt personal. Anytime it gets personal, it's different. Yes, I was the captain, but I'm also a human being. So as a human being, hurt, I reacted. I talked back. I cupped my ear. And when I got off the pitch, I threw my shirt on the ground and went down the tunnel. Now, you shouldn't have done that. Was I wrong to do that? Yes. But would I do anything differently if it happened again tomorrow? Honestly, I don't. Hey, Xhaka, come on. Fuck any Arsenal fans that got a problem. But what do you mean? You say, yes, I would do that again. What do you mean? As one captain that was stripped of his captaincy, I know exactly how you feel. I mean, the big up AFC Edmonton's fan base, they were still fucking with me, but I know how it feels, man. I know how it feels. So I'm somewhat reacting with this as well. Fuck that. We're going to do it all again, man. Don't regret nothing in life. How you mean? I was to be honest about that. I'm an emotional guy. Yeah, we can see that. To feel that level of hatred and disrespect, I wouldn't want it from my worst enemy. Still to this day, if we have lost, I hate walking those last meters to the tunnel because I still recognize the faces. The same people are sitting there. Tell them suck their mums, blood. Fuck. Half of these guys drawing you out, like you see with some content creators that spend their days criticizing Xhaka. The minute they come into contact with you, they're whoring themselves out like little hoes and all want to get a picture with you. And that, as you've seen, allow it, bro. Allow it, man. Very few people are going to chat shit to you, So now I just keep my head down. I lived through that nightmare once. I don't ever want to do it again. My parents and my agent were at that Palace game because I was supposed to discuss a new contract with the board the next day. We didn't even stay until the next game had finished. On the way home, nobody said a word. Just silence for an hour. Me driving, no phones, no words, zero. We got home and the first to talk was my mum. So what do you want to eat? Big up your mum, but let's skip past that. I got calls from other guys like Hector Bellerin, Leno, and Edu. That was a good feeling. But then my dad told me something I never thought I'd hear him say. It's time to go. This was him saying that. Do you understand what it means? Let me tell you, listen, I'm not going to read all of that. Yeah. Again, like I said, big up Granit Xhaka's family, the upbringing and all that stuff. And, my personal opinion, I love all of this story about, I love what Xhaka does as a person. I actually like Xhaka as a player. You just shouldn't be playing week in, week out. You shouldn't be a player we rely on. But respectfully, I don't really care about your family's background. I don't really care about the story. While I have, from a personal point of view, I have admiration for it, you know, fleeing war and doing all these things and whatnot. But from an Arsenal's perspective, I don't care about that. We've all got sub stories. We've all got the pursuit of happiness stories. I just care about, are you a good footballer? So respectfully, people, you lot can go and pre all the Yugoslavia thing. Forget all of that, innit? Like, it is what it is, you know, skipping all the way down, you know. When I was 14, I was too small, too skinny. The coaches would talk about my older brother and how talented he was, and he was. Then they would tell me, listen, you'll never become a professional footballer. This is sounding like that Justin Bieber and Jaden Smith. I will never say never. I will fight. I hear it, but we've all got sub stories, man. When I was 15, I damaged my ACL 8 months out. I came back and I was a disaster. I was scared to go into tackles. I was getting all these comments. You're a disgrace. Why do you keep playing? I was doing an internship in an office preparing for the real life. But in this one game, I went in for a 50-50 and I was like, this is it. Go all in or give up. It was like poker, you know. You either go all in or you fold. This is how I like to play. And I love that about you, you know. So I went in hard. My knee felt good and that changed everything. Suddenly, I was a lot more confident. Soon I got into the under-17s. Even though I'd never played for national teams before, they called me in because a guy was injured. Probably just to have 11 versus 11 on a training pitch. Anyways, we won the under-17s World Cup. That opened the door to Borussia Mönchengladbach. But the first 6 months there, another disaster. About 10 games, I was on the bench. This was in 2012-13. In January, I told my dad I want to leave. He said, shut up, but I came here to play. This is not the way. The door is right there, but anyone can walk away. To be strong, to work harder than the rest, this is what's difficult. Shout out to your dad, man. That thing about my dad, he's also a football coach. We analyze my games together. I feel sorry for my unborn son because we're going to be doing all of that. Because that's one thing I hate with the modern day game. Like, I think football's too soft. Like, I remember playing Sunday League, bro. People's mums, dads, family members, the coach would say what he's saying. And then people's mums would say, yo, you lot have been shit. Like, we're paying money for you lot. I could be cleaning my house, you know, and you're doing this. So I love to see the realness. I think football's too soft, if I'm honest. My games together. Has he told you do shit stuff? And he's also very critical. I can score 2 goals and he'll say, yes, but your positioning here is wrong. But 90% of the time he's right. Normally I used a winter holiday to visit my family in Kosovo. That year I stayed at home and just trained. I got back into the team. And in 2015-16, I became the captain. So my dad was right as usual. When you've been in prison in Yugoslavia, yeah, man, listen, big up your dad, man. Big up your dad, man. This is the kind of relationship we have. So when I got booed off against Palace and even he was telling me to walk away, what was I supposed to think? As we all know, I was left out the squad and I lost my captaincy. When Mikel was appointed in December, I told him that I wanted to leave. He understood completely. We had a second chat a few days later. And when I went in, I talked it through with my wife. Our suitcases were literally placed by the door. When I made a decision like that, it's very difficult to change my mind. But then Mikel came to talk about how I was a big part of his plans. Now, I hear this. This is all great for Mighty Ducks, but if this is what you're betting on in midfield, this is why the problems are there. He was a midfielder. You've seen what Granit, yes, everybody plays Xhaka, but to play devil's advocate, this is building the team around Xhaka is why we probably haven't been 30 among everything else. So while from a human point of view, I love all of this. As an Arsenal fan, a selfish Arsenal fan, that part of my language doesn't quite give a fuck about what everybody's doing unless you're doing a job here or not. That's a myth. He was honest, straight, clear about the plans. I felt I could trust him. He told me to give him 6 months to prove me wrong. And then if I still wanted to leave, no problem. You know, he said he broke his wrist. Long story short, he told him, okay, they unpacked the bags. And then, of course, they were with me, but it was so hard. All this shit had happened. All people were saying, why don't you leave already? My dad was telling me it's over. So why go back? Because I felt I was big enough to make this decision on my own. Was I going to let these people have their way? And I respect that. Don't let pussy holes do anything. These people who think I'm worthless, who hate me, that's not who I am. My head had left Arsenal, but my heart had not. My heart was telling me, you can't leave this club like this. Come on, Xhaka. Xhaka Thanos, they can't defeat you. Mikel and I didn't speak about my future again because after 6 months, I was happy. Today, I made the right decision, absolutely, because I'm still here. But I can't pretend that my relationship with fans will ever be the same because that moment will forever be in my heart. That's great, man. Just get on with it, bro. Fans don't like you 100%. You don't like fans 100%. Just win and everyone's kept calling it. No one gives a fuck about that. You know, I'll be honest. Like, you can hold that in your heart. I wasn't one of them fans, but I don't care about that. I would like us to have a better relationship. I'd like us to understand each other better. That is exactly why I'm telling you this. I know we players are privileged, but you have to understand that our lives can be very, very difficult too. Of course, you never get to know about our problems because we never talk and we never do anything together. To you, we are just players running around for 90 minutes and then goodbye. But I don't think this is right. People say, yes, but this is your job. You get big money for it. Yes, I know. But if a family member dies, how do you feel? And he lost his grandmother. And I don't like that about football. How just because you get paid a lot doesn't mean you have no empathy. Where if you remove it from football, why would all them brokers in New York or in London, why would they be committing suicide? They're getting paid peas. Money can't buy happiness. You need to be happy internally, you know. And we are in a decent place, you know. We are in a decent place as a club. You're never going to be flavor of the month. It is what it is. I would like to see Xhaka leave purely because. And I mean, like, I don't want him to necessarily leave, but I just feel it forces Arteta to revamp his midfield, what we need to do. As much as we rebuilt the squad and got a spine last year, we didn't revamp the midfield. And it was all you going Italy, you going Italy. So, yeah, he spoke about, obviously, you know, his family and whatnot. That's all great. He said, listen, the cards have always been part of my game. They're in Germany too. Remember the 50-50? I'm all in. It's the same in training. If I elbow a player, I'll be the first to say I'm sorry, but a tackle, come on, guys. This is not ballet. Trust. But it happens too often. Then let me ask this question. Why do coaches keep playing me? Because I'm a good guy? No, because I train. And again, I could be devil's advocate and say, all these men played you. That's why they ain't doing certain things. But there's got to be a reason why you're always not only playing, but trusted within the squad. I work hard. I try to help my teammates because I believe you play the way you train. True, even though I'm a shit trainer. I think some people don't even watch the game before they criticize us. Again, some people get agendaed, 100%. There was a match that we lost at home. I was injured, so I watched it from the box. I was still getting messages, you were shit today. By the way, let me just say this to the haters. You can say whatever you want about me, but don't touch my family, okay? Come on. My wife, my kids, my brother, my parents, they have nothing to do with me. There has to be a limit, and we all agree with that. Any decent human being agrees with that. If you want to criticize someone, please go for the guy on the pitch. And again, Xhaka, half the people that do all of that bullshit to you, funny because in real life, nobody has ever said to me, you're shit. Never. Nobody said it to my face. What do they say? The usual. You're the best. You're so good. Some people mean it, but others then go online and say, get him out of the club. So next time, say it to my face. Granit, today you were shit. No problem. I promise I will take that in a positive way. I respect an honest opinion, but I have no time for lies. This is one of the worst things about being famous. People can't be real with you. And I just make YouTube vids, but I kind of agree with that. You know, I've never been, no one's ever given me any sort of hate in the person. It's always been love. On the net, you get a lot of love. Big up you lot, by the way, but you lot get a lot of keyboards. It's ridiculous. So for 90 minutes, I'm Granit Xhaka, Arsenal midfielder, but for the rest of the week, I'm a Swiss guy living in London with his wife and 2 kids. I don't want to live any differently. I don't order all my food to my home. I don't walk around with a 10-man security crew just because I'm famous. I have to change everything. No chance. If I go to a party, I'll be in the middle of it. If my family wants to eat at a restaurant, I'm there. If my kid needs some food, I'll go to Sainsbury's. This is how I want to live. But there are some things that I just can't do. If the kid wants to eat at McDonald's, I can't go because someone will film it and put it on Instagram. I'll be in the papers tomorrow. I'll be concerned about what others are saying. This is totally wrong, but it's the reality. Of course, I'm grateful that I get to be a professional footballer, but off the pitch, I can honestly say that I had a better private life before than I do now. Well, you shouldn't have joined Arsenal. I would say, well, you shouldn't have joined Arsenal Football Club because that's what he is, innit? Obviously, how long is this, man? Obviously, I'm not captain of Arsenal any longer, but I can promise you that I will still act like a captain even without the armband. That is possible. I can't lie. Fuck that. Once AFC Edmonton took my captaincy, I was like, fuck that. I'm not playing anymore, boy. You can't do that to man. You can't do man day. I'm starting fights. And, you know, if you know, innit? I get a lot of respect from my teammates, our staff, and I'm so thankful for that. I'll always help the young guys and take responsibility for performances. Granit Xhaka, my centre mid. Arsenal is still in my heart 100%. My challenge was never to change people's opinions about me, but to help the team. Then after that, someone did change their mind because of that, then great. I understand that we'll never be best friends, but I hope we can treat each other with honesty and respect. I want you to know that whatever I do on the pitch, it comes from the right place. If I'm late in a tackle, it's because I'm fighting for Arsenal. If I lose my temper, it's because I care. Sometimes maybe I care too much. Obviously, you can never predict the future in football, but I do know a lot of things. After this season, I have 2 years left on my contract. I still love this club. I believe Mikel is building a great team. I want to achieve something special here. That's great, but Mikel, you know you still need a midfielder to replace Xhaka, innit? Like, this is great, Disney Channel settings, but yeah, man. As a human, sympathize with that. As a selfish Arsenal fan, fuck all of that, man. Bruv, you man, him man said, please, these sub stories suck. I've come close to dying at work a few times. It's part of the job. Being a footballer, all he's spoken about is part of the job. Suck it up and get on with it. If you ain't good enough, you're gone. That's life. Bit harsh, but yeah, man. To be fair, he was that close to getting Hertha Berlin. Let's be real. Fair play on that statement, but he's a big reason why you lot are where you are now. Meaty players getting over entitled. True. Happy birthday to the man that only scores screamers. Big up yourself, man. Xhaka's moving on this sentimental thing, I can't lie. Man said book readings, you're getting mad, bro. We be skipping out hella settings, bro. You lot are not here. Again, I'd advocate looking as much as you can, looking at it fairly, because some people, it's the fact that Granit Xhaka said it. Xhaka is full of shit. He was walking a good 10s before the boos really got loud. He's rewriting how it went. He walking slowly the way off when we needed a winner after playing shit again. Bro, Xhaka's my guy, innit, man? Stripped captains, union trust. None of them would square up, and there's no need to square up, but it's like if you wouldn't, I like honesty, innit? Like, if you wouldn't say shit to his face, myth. I hear it, still me, the squad player. Big up yourself, Jay. Appreciate that super chat, my guy. Appreciate the lovely messages and whatnot. But yeah, for me, though, people, with that, I can't lie, with it being my birthday and whatnot, 208 likes, appreciative. Birthday stream settings. We're live at 7:30. I'm offline. I'm going to meet my friends really for a spot of lunch and hella alcohol, people. So yeah, thank you for the birthday messages. Thank you for always supporting the channel and things like that across Twitch and YouTube. We've basically been here for 2 hours. We've finally got to see what Xhaka's saying. We've offered some general talking points. We briefly covered transfers, Champions League settings after in it. So I'm going to see you lot at 7:30. Offline for a couple of hours. You lot stay blessed, stay safe, have a progressive week. Out, people. Make sure you've hit the like button on the stream for later on YouTube and Twitch, which take your pick. I'd personally recommend being on Twitch because it's a lot better. But if you're going to do up YouTube, there it is for you lot, man. You lot, peace, man. Peace, peace, peace.
There's always just that active red flag defending. I think it's like.